The question, this happened to be the question that she forwarded to me. If you are there, you can probably see how beautiful it is. Cl, CH2, 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 and OH. She wants us to help her with the structure, how the structure of this compound will be. And as a matter of fact, looking at the structure is very simple. As I've always said, the first thing you would do is to analyze the first ClCH2. And if you can look at it with me, the first thing you need to write under here, you are supposed to write C. Note the number of carbon atom. There are 3 carbon atom. Write the first carbon atom. You write the second carbon atom. Okay. You now write the third carbon atom. There are 3 carbon atom. In the first carbon atom, you are having a Cl group, so you just do an arrow and put the Cl. If you've seen that, so now this H2, that means one H will go up and the next one will come down, H. Okay, do not put the middle bond yet. Try and focus on completing the hydrogen. So we are done with this two now. We are done with this, so I can cross that. Now we are looking at this, and you can see there are only 2 hydrogens, so I can put this hydrogen here, and I put this one here. Okay, that's fine. So now I now look at the next one. I can cross this off so that I will not be confused. The next one is to look at this particular one. I will now say H. I will now say H. And if you look at, there is a hydroxyl group, an alcohol group, hydroxyl group that have been added to the last CH2. So I'll just put an arrow and write OH. With that, I notice I need 1 bond to complete the carbon to have 4 bonds. So I'll now put the middle bond, making carbon to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for this particular carbon atom, the numbers of bonds are complete. I'll now come here, have 1, 2, 3. That means there will be a single bond here. Wow. You can see how simple it is. Why I told you you should not put the bond, middle bond yet. I didn't want you to get confused when you are putting the bonds, so you will not end up saturating carbon with more than 4 bonds. As you can see, all of them has 4 bonds. The first carbon atom. Now, having been able to write the structure as you have seen, you've been able to write the structure as you have seen. The next thing that you are supposed to do is to give the IUPAC nomenclature. The IUPAC name is for you to give the IUPAC nomenclature of the compound. That's it. It's for you to give the IUPAC name of the compound. So for you to give the IUPAC nomenclature, the rule says I will locate the longest possible continuous chain and make it my parent hydrocarbon. I will locate the longest possible continuous chain and make it my parent hydrocarbon. You will agree with me that the longest chain has 3 carbon atoms. But you are having a chloro group having attached to the 3rd carbon atom, and hydroxyl group attached to the 1st carbon atom. In terms of priority, I will assign priority to the side that will give the OH the least number of priority. That in terms of the numbering system. In other words, OH is the parent compound. This compound is an alcoholic compound, and is, from the look of things, Cl here is acting as an attachment. In other words, the name of this compound must end with null because OH is the parent compound. So as such, you will now look at it. Attaching priority, you will start from the right. You will start from this other side to assign priority. And that means by assigning priority, it therefore means that Here will be 1. I will attach 1 here, priority 1. Okay. Have you seen that? And this other place will be 2, priority number 2 and 3. Having finished in allocation of priority, the next thing that you are supposed to do is to give the name. So what would be the name of this compound? The name of the compound will be 3. Why? Because 3 is where the chlorine compound is being attached. 3, have you seen that? And hyphen, not a comma. In organic chemistry, you use hyphen to separate between the number and the words. But in a case that you're having 2 numbering, like for instance, if it was 2, 3 chloro, if it was 2, 3, you would have written something like this. You would have written 2. If it was a case of 2, 3, you have written 2, you do comma before you do 3. Then before you put an hyphen and you give the name. But in this particular content, it's only 1 chloro compound, so it will be 3 chloro, 1, 2, 3 carbon atom. So 3 chloro propanol. As IUPAC name, 3 chloropropanol, or you say it is 3 chloropropan 1 or. And in most cases, they like putting this in bracket to separate, but you can leave it that way. Okay. 3 chloropropan 1 or. The 1 or is telling you where the OH, the hydroxyl group, the alcohol functional group, is being attached. So as such, distinguished gentlemen and ladies, this happens to be the structure of the compound. And the IUPAC name is, you can see, 3 chloropropan 1 or. So in this other sequence, what if you were having a case where you were having up to 3 chloro compound and you were having cases of a fluoro compound, and you were having a fluoro compound and you were also having a bromine compound being attached to the system? Gentlemen and ladies, at this point in time, I want to actually say, if you're having Cl, CHF, CH, Cl, CH2, CHOH. Okay, if you're having something of this magnitude, what would you have done? If you're having something of this, and what would you have done? Please, at this point, I want to say, please do well to subscribe to the channel for more updates, and also try to share and comment. Your comment is very important to us on what we are doing. It gives us more room for improvement. Now, we are having this question because I want to explain it in a way that when that student go back, he or she will be able to tackle any question in terms of naming. Now, look at this particular question that we are having. Look at it. You are having a Cl, CHF, CHCl, CH2, CH2OH. How will you analyze this question? So the first thing which you are supposed to do is to write the structure just as I've shown you. So the first thing you are supposed to write this CH. You write the CH, the first CH, that is this one, C, and you are seeing H, attach the H, and you attach the F, and you attach the CL. We are done with that particular one. So you can now move to the second one. Let's leave the middle bond. I'm writing H and I'm having CL. We are done with this particular one. Now we are moving over to this one. Don't get confused. So we have H, we have also H, and you are left with this last compound. You have H and you have H, okay, and attach your OH. At this point in time, you can fix in the middle bond. Okay, that means it's gonna be single bond, and single bond. Now you will notice something with this structure that you are seeing. What have you noticed? The difference between this structure and the first one is that there is introduction of a CL. Don't mind me, this first one is this one here that you are seeing is CL. This one is C and L, please. Take note of that. This is CL. So it's a kind of error in writing. So you have that CL. So in this case, you are having a fluoro compound and you're having a chloro compound. Which of the side will you attach priority? The rule still says as allocation of priority will start from the side to give the parent compound at least number of priority. Okay, so at this point in time, you'll be having priority number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the IUPAC name of this compound will be, now in a system of numbering, way of naming, where you are having a chloro compound, a fluoro compound, the name follows in alphabetical order. The name follow in alphabetical order. You agree with me? Anytime you are seeing this particular question, you are supposed to ensure that you name it based on their position in the letters of the alphabet. In arrangement of things, you agree with me that C comes before F. C comes before F. In as much as you identify that you are good to go. Another question may come, what if you were having Cl and a cyano compound? That is very sensitive enough. What I mean by that, you were having a Cl and a CN, like you were having this Cl and a CN attached to a compound. Which of them will come first? The rule says you will still follow the letters, arrangement of letters of the alphabet. C comes first, but unfortunately both of them have CC. The next thing is to look at which letter follows. L comes before N, so chloro will be named first before the CN. Do you understand that? So let's go back to our question. I was just trying to ensure that you understand. So at this point, what will be the IUPAC name for this particular compound that you are seeing? So I will just say 4-chloro, 4-chloro hyphen 4-fluoro fluoro butan 1-or. That's what you are going to get. 4-chloro, 4-bromo, butan 1-or. So that will be the IUPAC name for this particular compound. Look at it very well. Look at it very well. Butan 1-or. So I don't know if you, from the comment section, whether there is any possible question that I've seen. Um, at this point in time, I want to say, I think I will try to see how I can make it more simpler by introducing, I'll be introducing metal group and amine in the naming. At least that will reinforce the understanding better. But for today, that's all we have for you. Please do well to subscribe to the channel and like and share. I wish you all a successful night. Bye. Here in Nigeria, we say good evening all. Bye. Okay, someone have just dropped. So if there are two OH, will it be two or? That is a very important question. At this point in time, if there were two OH, I'm going to take that immediately. Suppose there were two OH. Let's say, I would just say, suppose there were two OH. It doesn't matter the position of the OH. Suppose there were two OH. Let's say we had another OH. Let me just say there was another OH. Let me say here. Another OH here. Let me just put OH at that point. If the compound was like this, if the compound was like this and you're having two OH, in other words, it will not be, will it be 2-or? No, it will not be 2-or. Instead, the name will be 4-chloro. As you can see, the name will be 4-chloro 3-fluoro-butane 1,1 diol. I'll write that for you. For simplicity. Let me place the compound. So you will write 4-chloro 4-fluoro-butane 1,1 diol. It will not be 2-diol. This is how it will be. 1,1 diol. Is showing, the 1,1 is showing that there are two hydroxyl groups that have been attached to the first carbon atom, and di means the one shows the position of the two OH, and the di means there are two of the hydroxyl group that have been attached there. So it follows butane 1,1 diol. That is how it's supposed to be. I don't know, Glorious Mela. I hope that is quite understood. Is there any question? Do you actually understand that? But you can also, do not forget, in cases where you are having the attachments, the OH acting as a substituent. What I mean by acting as a substituent, now in a system where you're having a compound where OH is acting as an attachment, you know the OH, the alcoholic functional group will now be named hydroxyl. A typical example is if you were having a compound like this. Let me quickly give you a simple compound: CH3, CH2, CHOH, COOH. That is, if you were having a compound like this, CH3, CH2, CHOH, COOH. In this case, the structure will be in this case, I'm trying to see where I can write the structure. In this case, the structure will be very simple. You'll be having the structure will be, okay, just give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Let me get something to put that question. So as you can see, at this point the structure will be something like this. So suppose you were having where is it? You were having something like this. You were having something like this. We want to see how you can analyze that in a very simple and clear terms. Distinguished gentlemen and ladies, organic chemistry is very simple. Why? Because it's something you are seeing. You are seeing it. It's not something they tell you chemical reaction happens and you don't see it. This one you can touch the bone, isn't it? So at this point in time, we can basically say the first thing is to write the structure will be C, the first one, and you attach your H, you attach your H. For this one, I don't have an issue. The next one is this. Let's leave the middle bond. As someone that is learning, always avoid putting the middle bond yet. Just complete your hydrogen and your hydrogen. Don't write this one, the next C, and write your H. And again, this is your OH. There. The next thing is for you to write this C. Don't forget, if you're writing this C, there's gonna be a double bond here acting to this, and this is H. Sorry, and this is OH. Okay, have you seen that? Have been able to split this, the carboxylic functional group. Looking at this, I can comfortably add my single bond in all of them. Have you seen it? So in a system of this kind of arrangement, where you are seeing what will be the IUPAC name, what will be the IUPAC name? Quickly, what will be the IUPAC name? So you are having this compound now. What will be the IUPAC name for this compound? So the same rule follows. The parent compound is carrying is 4 carbon atom, the butane family, but in this case it is an esters. It's an esters. Okay, it's having an an alkanoic functional group, which is a COOH, an alkanoic functional group. So what would the name be? Priority will be assigned based on this 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know, right? Because now I think you understand where we are going. So the name of this compound will be 1, 2. I can see Glorious is already writing the name for me. The name of this compound will be 2 hydroxyl butanoic acid. 2-hydroxyl butanoic acid. That will be the IUPAC name, 2-hydroxyl butanoic acid. It is a carboxylic acid. When an alkanols react with an alkanoic acid, what is formed would be esters. We've not gotten there in our learning, so when we get there, we are going to explain further. I don't know, Glorious, if you understand what I've just explained, you can maybe wave for us, everyone to see. But if you have any other question that is bothering you, you can let me know so that I can throw more light on it. But at this point in time, I believe we've come to the end. Do well to share it with your colleague and your group. And also, when I'll be meeting you guys on Tuesday, I will use you to explain some things for the students. So I believe you should be able to explain what I've explained to you this night, believing that others are also seeing this. So Glorious, how do you feel? Do you understand it? I can see your comment. Do you understand what we just finished explaining? Anyone, any other person in the house apart from Glorious, any of my students? Okay, bye-bye. All right, thank you very much. I can see she says she understand. So that means you will not disappoint me when I call you out to, show the other students. In the arrangement of things, most times you need to ensure a student understand. Once your paid student understand, the person can explain to others. But most of the time, my target is not the best student. My target is the average student, the developing student. Once the developing students understand, you are good to go. That means the super intelligent student will be good to go. I love you all. Do well to subscribe to the channel, please. Don't just watch, subscribe to the channel and share. Bye bye.